Hello VC, so I'm doing a video for you today, but this one isn't a recent vinyl spins because what I have to show you I haven't been spinning, so this is what a lot of people would call a haul, new finds video, but to be quite honest, I have not spun any of these that I'm going to show you today. I also had a very cool meetup with Joe Roberstson of the VC, who is living in Austin. Caught up with him during a record show, and I'll show you a short clip here of our meet. All right.
I should say hi to Dr. Ned Wax.
Yeah, exactly.
So
He's
you
still
found
watching.
some stuff. Good.
Yeah, your guy. Yeah, he hooked me up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he got me a good deal.
Oh.
So it was great meeting you, Joe. You know, I feel badly. I should have spent a little more time at your table digging around, but I do appreciate you showing me your neighbor, because your neighbor had a lot of great stuff, a lot of $3 records that I wouldn't expect to find, because I've never had much luck at this Houston record show. A lot of the same dealers that come in and out, and so anyway, let me get into what I picked up at the record show and one thing that came in the mail. So to start out, the thing that did come in the mail today was something that I won via an eBay auction, and it was a Japanese seller, and it's this guy right here. So this is a Japanese only Columbia issue of Art Blakey and Horace Silver. And just looking at the tracks and doing a little research online, this is kind of a compilation of 3 different Columbia albums. So the first couple are Jazz Messengers albums that were done on Columbia, and the last one I think was Horace Silver's only solo release on Columbia. So anyway, very interesting album. I just love the cover photos and the way they piece this together, but it has a very interesting painting by Kenichi Ochida, and I do not know why they picked that particular painting. Maybe it's because Horace Silver and Art Blakey were both founders of the Jazz Messengers, and they both were steering the ship. But anyways, kind of a fascinating relationship between these two, because they did found the Jazz Messengers. So early on it was the 17 Jazz Messengers, which was a one-time thing with Art Blakey doing kind of a big band thing. But later on, I think it was about 54, 55, there was kind of a one-of concert at Birdland with Lou Donaldson, I want to say Kenny Dorham as well on trumpet. No, sorry, not Kenny Dorham. Kenny Dorham came later. It was Clifford Brown. So kind of a one-of concert that was just wonderfully recorded. It's Night at the Birdland, first live recording of the Jazz Messengers, but unfortunately that was not meant to be. I was hoping that Music Matters would re-release these 2 albums, because it was part of 2 volumes. And I talked to Ron Rombach online and on the phone a couple times, and I guess these do not meet the Music Matters standards. At least that's what the vibe I was getting, because when they played the tapes and he's listening to the master tapes, the PA system was playing in the background and I could pick it up. So I have it on CD and I can't hear the PA, but I just love it. But anyways, getting back to this, so these guys formed and they were together for about 2 years, 3 years in total, and they did one album, Horace and Art together, on Columbia with Donald Byrd and Hank Mobley. And Art, unfortunately, even throughout his career, he was on and off of heroin, along with Hank Mobley and Kenny Dorham when Kenny Dorham was with him. And for the Columbia album, the first Columbia release, the money for that album was paid to Art, and Art decided to use the money for drugs, and none of the other band members got a dime. And so Horace Silver wrote about it in his very interesting autobiography. Here, let's get to the nitty-gritty. And that Columbia Records experience really led to the dissolution of the band. So Horace Silver went his separate way, developed his own quintet, sextet, and Art Blakey had to basically reform the group. And as far as I can tell, the only member of that Columbia Records session that he ever did a recording with again was Hank Mobley, and Hank Mobley was also into drugs. So anyways, I still love Art Blakey. It's kind of sad, but heroin and jazz music at the time, they were, they went together like peanut butter and jelly. But Horace Silver was very clean, never really did anything, never did drugs, and then, he kind of got into a holistic lifestyle, spirituality during the late 60s, early 70s, which he writes quite a bit about in his autobiography. It's really a great read, but it's very, it's disconnected. It doesn't read in a linear fashion. It's kind of a story here, story there, and he jumps around from year to year, but it does progress in time to the latter part of his career. I just happened to pick this up I think a year or two before he passed away, unfortunately, and it really is not a bad book. It gives some good insight into a lot of jazz musicians. So he talks about Miles Davis when Miles Davis was on drugs, and Miles broke into his apartment and attempted to steal all his clothes while Horace was out, and was going to sell his clothes for drugs, but something got in the way of that, and it never happened. But Miles did talk to Horace about it. Of course, Horace recorded with Miles. They did a couple albums together on Prestige. Talks about Hank Mobley, Sonny Rollins, older jazz musicians like his run-in with Charlie Parker. He had some encounters with Charlie Parker a couple times. Ben Webster. So hearing about and reading about all of his encounters in the 50s and his experiences writing jazz music, it just makes it for a fascinating read. I think you can still get this from his website, so I recommend it. A lot of people critique it when he gets into the 70s and he gets into his spiritual holistic thing, and people get frustrated with that, and because he's not really preaching, but people interpret it that way. But one of the sad things is towards the end of the book, he's talking about he really wants to make a movie of his life, and that's one of his lifetime goals, but never did happen. But great book. You can pick it up pretty cheaply, and I recommend getting it through his website. But back to records. So can't wait to spin this just to see what it's like, because Japanese pressings are really high quality. They're pretty quiet. Is it coming from the master tapes? Probably not. It's probably a dupe, but still, it's I love the cover. Great find. I scored it for like a total of $4. The shipping to the States was more than it costs for the actual record itself. So $4 for a record, and I think $10 for shipping. That's not a bad deal. It's in near mint condition. So, what did I get at the record convention? So Houston has a record convention. It happens on a frequency of about every 2 to 3 months in this same Hilton hotel. And Joe Robertson asked me, "Hey, are you going to Austin this weekend?" Because Austin has this huge record show this weekend, and I'm sorry, I'm going to miss out. And it's like 20 times the size of this, and people internationally come here. I mean, I think the only thing that's bigger than it is the record show that's in Holland. But anyways, what did I pick up? I mean, a lot of these are like $3, and this is at the table that was next to Joe. So the first thing is I found this 10-inch by Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey. So swing era jazz, but hey, it's on Riverside, and I looked at it, and you know, for a 10-inch at the time, it is very, very clean. A little bit dirty, you got to clean it up, but has the ear or the Plastilite P, and so I'm excited to pick that one up for $3. Did score another 10-inch of Edith Piaf. I do like French chanson from time to time. I don't have any Edith Piaf on vinyl, and I figure, hey, this is an original French release. In fact, Discogs didn't even have this particular cover variant that came out in the 50s. Philips Green Label with Micro Groove. What's very interesting about these 10 inches, I mean, it was kind of a forced model as far as I can tell, so you had all these 78 presses that were pressing 10-inch 78 records, and so why just scrap those presses? And so that's really what drove the release of 10 inches in the 50s. So very cool find. I'm happy to have it for $3. The next one, okay, this one was not $3. I paid a little bit more for it, and the dealer was great because I could negotiate with him, and so I picked up an original Blue Note. So I was very excited to see this because I don't know what it is, but there were very few original Blue Notes that were there. I mean, they had quite a few Liberty presses, but a lot of them were trashed. But I was excited to find this one. So very early Jimmy Smith record, and this one is on the 47 West 63rd variant of the Blue Note label. Probably is not, it's definitely not near mint, and it's not VG Plus. It's probably VG. There are some scratches on here, but they're minor, so I can't wait to clean this guy up and listen to it, because this one, as far as I'm aware, has never been reissued, and features Lou Donaldson, Kenny Burrell, Art Blakey. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Next up is another one that I think I paid $10 for, but I've never seen it in the wild. This is Julie London, and you know, I've commented on Julie London several times. So she's a jazz singer, gets categorized as lounge from time to time. She was an actress too. Incredibly beautiful. This is a gatefold on Liberty. Of course, wonderful shot there. Analog Productions has actually reissued a couple of their albums, which I showed previously. And this one is on the Red Liberty label. And the vinyl was just mint. So for the price that I found it, the jacket has no scuffs, really, no water stains. Calendar Girl, 12 different wonderful shots of Julie London, so I couldn't pass that up because I never see it. The next one, this one was actually from another dealer, and this one was a mistake. So this is AC/DC's Ball Breaker, and why was it a mistake? So after picking it up, I spent $20 on this because I like Ball Breaker. When I was working in a record store back in the early 90s when this came out, I got the promo of it, promo CD, and you know, I love the song Hard as a Rock, and I haven't seen the reissue here. I could order it, but you know, I saw that there. It's like, hey, it's an original. I've never seen an original of it. Well, I should have done my research. I had my phone with me. I probably could have looked it up, and let me show you why. So, first of all, they come in a paper sleeve like this. Yeah. So I see paper sleeves like this. It always makes me suspect because I saw a copy of Pearl Jam's Yield there too. And that one I did look up. I knew it was a bootleg, so I should have questioned the seller. But what was a dead giveaway was the label. So this is kind of brownish, and the actual release is on kind of a more black label. So like that. So I'm a little bit miffed. You know, I could have bought the reissue, which is probably better pressed and coming from the original source and mastered at Sterling. And here I got something that was probably mastered by a CD and by who knows who. So got screwed on that one. From that very same dealer. The dealer is there all the time. He has like 30 bins. He has a mobile fidelity bin and audiophile bin, so I should have been a little more trusting, but he had an Elvis bin, and I do like some of Elvis's religious works. So one of the albums that I've always been after is How Great Thou Art by Elvis. So yeah, call me kooky if you want, but I dig his religious work. And this one is not original. I think this is a 70s reissue, but nonetheless, I was happy to have it, and I scored it for like $4. So, and it's mint. And yeah, you can tell from the label. It came with the original inner and paper thin vinyl on the brown RCA logo. So the next one I did pick up at the dealer next to Joe, and this one just blew me away because it was in the guy's $3 bin, and it's a Lou Donaldson record. So the cover, yeah, BG, maybe BG minus. It has some riffs, but I pulled out the vinyl, and the vinyl was just immaculate. I'm like, really? There is not, there might be some hair, paper scuffs, but that's about it. I mean, it was Liberty, so you know, late 60s, early 70s are going to be on the Liberty label, but yeah, I was just amazed. $3 for this, and he looked at it, he's like, that's a great album. I'm like, yeah, it is. And looked at him kind of funny, and I'm like, wait, looking at me funny. I'm like, $3? He's like, yeah. Look at the cover. I'm like, $3. I can live with a beat up cover like this. I mean, it's Lou Donaldson. The vinyl is, you know, BG plus. So hey, cool find for $3. Same dealer again. $3, Basie at Birdland on Roulette. I haven't seen this one before, but you know, everything that I've picked up on the Roulette label I've liked in general, and again, I don't think this guy's been played that much. It was near mint. So, really excited to clean that guy up and play it a little bit. This one was not $3. This was more like 10, but I've always been looking for an original and not a repress, and William Shatner's Transformed Man. Yeah, and you know, $10 versus a $20 repress, and it's near mint on Decca. Very schlocky, but hey, it's William Shatner and he's singing. I mean, I'd love to find a Leonard Nimoy, but now that he's passed on, yeah, those records are insane, so I'll wait a while on Leonard Nimoy. I mean, It's not something I'm going to play every day, but I do like to play it from time to time. Last one, I couldn't pass up. Erotica, The Rhythms of Love. This one was $6 on Fax. So, if you're not familiar with Fax, Fax did a lot of adult-themed records in the 50s and 60s. And I have a small collection, maybe I'll show sometime. With some risque covers, but I saw this one, and $6, dead mint. Obviously the person who bought it hadn't played it a lot, so definitely looking forward to spinning that. So I'll have to let you know how it is, and I will try and feature these when I do actually spin them, and I do a recent vinyl spin. So there you have it. Thank you all for folks that watched my Blue Note video and sent me comments. I love the interactions with you. And hello to Jonas in Sweden. Again, I love your videos. There are several guys that really inspired me to do videos, and I've been watching the longest time. So I think I've been commenting on videos going back to 2011, maybe 2010. And I love Jonas's videos. So if you haven't caught them, I'm going to include a link down below. So have a great weekend, everybody, and thank you for watching.